There's an old Kenworth line truck up there that we're gonna see if it'll fire up and make the journey home.
Oh my goodness. How is that gonna go down the road?
Hopefully rubber side down. How much did you pay for this? You're gonna need to ask for some money back. We had smoke. Where there's smoke, there's gotta be fire, right?
The boys here, Mr. Reed, Chet, Mr. Zane, ready to go chase another truck. What do you think, Reed?
It's gonna be awesome.
It's an old Kenworth line truck.
Sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome, right?
We're gonna need to put some air in the tires. Full of oil. Jesse, how much did you pay for this?
Then the like 10 grand.
It's got no batteries over here. You're gonna need to ask for some money back.
What do we need?
Pliers and see if we can get that radiator cap off.
On the door panel over there.
It's a little low, but it's got water.
So can you tell if that's 71 or 92?
If I understand right, what I was told was the 92s will have a big balancer. Was that what Wayne was telling us?
Yeah, I think so.
On the bottom of this, so this would be a 71. I reached out to Wayne Van Dam just now. We were texting back and forth because he has a hole in that shed. He's got a bunch of Detroits. And I was like, hey, you got any 92s?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, those are all 71s.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
bet they're ones that people have swapped out for 92s.
Probably.
We're gonna see if we can get this thing to fire and at least roll out of here just a little ways.
Does that starter need some love? There it is.
Well, that sounds good, doesn't it? You probably ought to coat that treadle valve down with some sort of penetrating oil.
Yeah.
You know, Mad Max could have got its inspiration for the exhaust from this old girl. Huh?
And I bet you
Isn't
this
that
one
cool?
was built before Mad Max was a conversation. Oh my goodness. How is that going to go down the road? We're going to find out.
Hopefully rubber side down.
Put down that thing.
Watch out for that kid. He's like his dad. He's got a heavy right foot.
Do you need the jumbo pocket pliers?
The jumbo pocket pliers. We may. She's on her last leg.
Probably not
To an
to an
amputee.
Actually, maybe
Where does that go up to?
I
Where does this one
We'll
go?
just lift this.
That goes to the solenoid. Right as I touch the battery cable, the hot deal, he hits the horn, and I'm like, jeez.
Quit picking on the little guy.
Positive, positive, negative, negative. We kind of got a little bit of a shebang going here. I guess it probably
You're
don't
sure
matter.
that is a positive going to starter?
Said there's always time to do it right the second time, huh?
Time? We don't have time.
As Wayne says, anything's a hammer if you use it wrong enough, right?
And see if we can start this motor and get hydraulics going for the outriggers.
Reed's getting a friend, canned air. This outrigger here, you want to pull it in a little bit? All right, Wayne, this one is for you. Good old Detroit, good old Detroit. A double Detroit today. What do you think about that, old two-stroker? He just took this thing and drove this out of here. Maybe we should talk to his dad about putting him on the payroll, right? Yeah, show him how to do it.
Did you hear the deal that Jesse and I made on this?
What's that?
We need to find him one of these military 6x6s to put this yarder on.
We'll put the hoist on, then you guys can have the chain.
The 8x8 Oshkosh. He's a logger. His budget is.
Yeah, no.
It's a logger. Just like farmers, never making it.
Surely
Always
there's-
have new trucks.
Surely there's a government subsidy for that, right? Too bad the Biden bucks era is done.
Hey. Cut.
Can't say that.
Yeah, so Jesse, he's a local logger in the Sweet Home area. And I know that so many people that we talked about that don't even understand, get to see what highline
Right.
logging really is.
Yeah.
It's really, my understanding, it's the Pacific Northwest and maybe New Zealand. There's only two places in the world, really?
Yeah, and it's starting to creep back east,
Yep.
you know, into Wisconsin and all that. They're starting to get into, you know,
Yarder
some of
logging.
that. Yeah.
You know, that's interesting because
Yeah.
yesterday we just heard about a guy who crashed his 071
Mhm.
and it's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Is where
Yeah.
the guy's needing
Yeah.
this at. So I just thought, with this truck sitting here and we happen to have an 071 sitting
Right.
here, this is equipment people just don't get to see. East
Right.
Coast. Yesterday we just posted that video that old two-stroker did, and it was interesting to see some of the comments coming out of Europe. Most people
Yeah.
they don't even get to see trucks like this here. You know, they see Scanias.
Yeah.
No offense, Bruce Wilson, right? He's a Scania guy here in the U.S. But tell us a little bit how this whole system works here.
Yeah, so like with our yarders, you know, it's steel tower, you know, we put guy lines out and stuff, and we have cables stretching across the canyon.
And how
You
far
know,
will those cables stretch? So
I mean, it can go anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 feet, you
Wow.
know, depending on the canyon
Yeah.
and everything. And so, so we have those stretching across the canyon, which runs a sky car, which we have a couple of those right
Sky
here,
cars, yeah.
which run up and down the log, you know, line and pulls the logs up the hill and stuff. So to get that line that goes across the canyon, we string smaller line called haywire. And actually nowadays we're using synthetic rope, which is
some guys
a
are
game
using
changer.
drones now,
And
right?
now we're using drones.
Yeah.
Yep. And technology and involvement and stuff like that has helped the industry a lot, and just cut down time and manpower and all that. But so we'll string the smaller, either rope or haywire, across the canyon, and then we'll use something like this to pull, to just basically winch the big line, because the line that goes clear across the canyon 2, 3, 5,000 feet is big, you know, 1.1 inch, 1.25 inch, sometimes 1 3/8.
Wow.
You know, so that's heavy. You know, you're 5 pounds a foot on some of that stuff. You know,
Wow.
so so that's heavy. So you need something big to winch that across the canyons, because you know obviously we can't do that manually.
Right.
So the smaller stuff is more manageable, like say with the drones or by hand. Or
But that's
whatever.
just
So
to get it started.
that's just
to get it started.
that's just to
And
get it
it's-
started.
You
Yeah.
got a 1 loop, 2 loop, 3
Yeah.
loop, get that going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And then so once we get that across the canyon, you know, goes to an anchor point, whether it be a stump or an old cat. We're repurposing a lot of these old cats, you know, from the 60s and 70s and using them as anchors, because our anchor options are limited nowadays, you know, with the smaller tree size and stuff. So yeah, we're using a lot of machinery nowadays to anchor.
Tail holds, right?
Tail
And
holds,
there's a lot
yep.
of D8Ks I see. A
Yep.
lot of D8Hs,
H's,
D8Ks.
yep.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
have H's and you know, still making purpose out of those old cats,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we attach that cable to them to anchor across the canyon, and then that gets us,
That's what this
you
does.
know,
Yeah.
up and going.
So interesting that this piece was kept for so many years, really in the condition it
Yeah,
was.
original,
You know,
yeah.
It's really like you say, you could have something that's out of the, was it 60s maybe?
Yeah.
And you go buy one today brand new, and there ain't much difference in what
And
they
that's
do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And really anymore, to find that brand new, nobody's really making them, so it'd have to be a custom thing. You'd have to go to a fab shop, you know, or something and do, which would be pretty costly. But yeah, so neat to find something like this in this good of shape that we can do a little bit of work to, some airlines and this and that, and put it to work.
Put it to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you already have the yarder that matches this up and
Right.
working. This thing by this week, next week, will be up and running
Yeah.
on the job site.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Well, this is a little bit of the Pacific Northwest, and you know, like I say, most people don't have a clue. I love when people come out to tour our place right near
Mhm.
Slough. What these guys don't know is after they shut off at 2:30 in the afternoon, I run these guys up in the mountains and I go jump all over their machines
Right.
and show people
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But people
yeah.
see this. I don't want to interrupt you guys while you're working up there, but afterwards, you sit there. There's nothing else in the world like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so
Yeah.
cool to see those big cables. Even cooler to watch them,
Right.
work and pull
Yeah.
out of the woods. So
Yeah, and what I've always intrigued me about like what we do is, there's not, we do it up on site and figure out the cables and the angles and everything, where, this like bridges and stuff like that is a lot of engineered stuff, and where we're just doing it up on site,
Totally.
and figuring out how to make all this work, and they've been doing it for, 100 years.
Man, and
we're
you got
just,
so many variables that come
so
into
many
that.
variables.
Like bridges, they can
Yeah.
lay out pretty much a number. They got some
Right.
variables on ground and hour, but I mean, you might have an area where 20, 30 years ago you
Yeah.
had stumps. Like
Yeah.
you said, this year you can't use those stumps.
Can't use them.
They're
Yeah.
rotten. And it's the second growth. What our cycle is about, 35 years in this area here?
Yeah,
maybe?
35 to 60, depending on the timber company.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so you look at that, those stumps aren't big enough to tie
Right.
off to. And like you're talking about using the machines now. So
Yeah.
where you place the machine and how often you
Yeah.
have to move it. There's so many variables.
So many variables. Every landing, every job site, every it's different every time. So you're problem solving every time and trying to just figure that all out.
You got to make it safe for all these log trucks
Yep.
to come in, get the logs, get them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Then you think about it's the ambient conditions, wind, all
Yeah.
that. Just reading a little bit this week of a company that they were shutting down a little early, just way too windy in the woods.
Right.
And I know it's all about keeping your men
Yeah.
safe,
Yeah.
So
So yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah, no, we're excited to get this thing and get it to work and help us pull our cables across the canyon. So
cool. Well, Jesse, thank you for letting us
Yeah.
come along today.
Yeah,
and be part
yeah,
of
it's
this.
been
This
fun.
is
Yeah.
neat. Now let's that's the first part is here. Let's second part.
now we
is
got to
getting
get her home.
That's what we got Kenny made
That's what we got
for.
Kenny for.
Cool. All right.
What do you think? Bring earplugs?
No?
One thing about Detroit is they're noisy.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Sounds perfect.
An old trucker told me one time, heard a log truck go past the shop with the Jake brakes on, and he stood there and listened, and he said, sounds of nature.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets up next to you. If I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heavering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
How fast do you think we're going?
Probably 15, 20.
Oh man, we gotta be doing at least 22.
Yeah, probably.
When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I drove, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely.
That's loud.
Yeah.
When I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home.
We need like 3 more gears.
Yeah.
That's top speed.
This is? Is most stuff all only coming with 5 years?
Yeah. It's a 5 and a 4. 5-speed main box, a 4-speed brownie.
Oh, yeah.
And I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles and fall down at your door.
All right, tell us the story. What happened here?
Well, the 3 amigos made it back to Sweet Home.
The 3 amigos made it back to Sweet Home.
4 o'clock now. What time did we leave? About 11:30.
11:30.
Up there. Yeah. We got her up to 31 miles an hour.
Downhill.
With a tailwind. But, oh man, what a blast. What a fun old truck.
Jacob, what was it like for you to drive that thing for 2 hours? I saw you sitting in the driver's seat.
Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, I heard
Pretty
you
good
grinding
stuff?
the gears a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all right. If you can't find them, grind them. That's the truck driver's way. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And having these kids along for the ride, you know, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. You know, most kids think that loud things are fun, but when you mix loud, old, and slow, I don't know. We all had a smile on our face the whole time, huh?
And so did everybody on the street.
Oh, it was a good time. Great
Yeah.
time. So
I
thank
bet
you
there
again.
was 250 smiles in the last hour and a half.
Well, 249 of them were mine.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Jesse Van Ice for letting us drive this gem home.
All right.
Yeah.
Saturday, Monday it goes to work. Don't be late.